they're, and I might use the word respectful, like this isn't the time to completely rag, but if they're not using it, they're not using it, and that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah,
But respectful truth is plenty, and they don't need to know what's gonna happen with it. They just need to know
we will look at
that it's gonna be read and that it's anonymous.
it. Right, that's true. That's true, good. Yeah.
So.
And then I thought we would maybe do a practice, maybe body scan or something that they like. 10, 15 minutes, and then about 10 minutes maybe on letter, and then, I don't know, a little bit on self-compassion to start with. And that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's great, like self-compassion, and, and for a closing practice,
Yeah.
you might do peace or flashlight, just because flashlight combines kind
we
of
did
everything.
peace, and they
And
really
so
like that
it's
too.
a nice
Yeah.
closing practice.
nice. Maybe flashlight.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, but I think we've been there now 8 weeks. I think a lot of them are kind of getting it and understanding that it's just about being in the moment and taking a breath before we respond and just being. And you can choose your behavior, and I go over that and over that and over that. So,
right, but as a freshman, to be reminded on a weekly basis that you can have your feelings and choose your behavior,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
yeah, because yeah, it takes that long for it to sink in, I think.
You know, and then you know that at least some of them, and probably I don't know yet what Wynn's deciding for next year, but like, they're going to get it somewhere else. They're going to get it in English or Spanish or math or choir.
And hopefully more
teachers. It won't be the last time that they hear it.
Right.
And, you know, if their sibling is a freshman or their best friend on a soccer team is a freshman next year and they're getting it in PE, they're going to hear reminders from them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still keep thinking about, you know, in 4 years, every kid will have had here. I mean, it will be a community language, which is a big deal.
It will be. And I totally believe that it will happen. So so it's been fun. Been a great learning experience for me too, and because this year I'm pretty much just doing it on my own. I had a partner last year doing it, so I think I feel a lot more confident in doing what I'm doing. I can speak more freely about it.
You can do it with 45 freshmen, you're in good shape. So.
And I remember back when I started this year with the huge classes by myself, it was a little more difficult, and but I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with it, and it was fun. My husband, how did it go? I said it was great. I had a good time. It was a good day.
Good.
So yeah.
So what about oopses or concerns or now what's or whatever? And not just for you, like for anybody.
This one kid bugs me. And he's just so immature. We were in our circle, and lying flat down. We're not lying down. We're sitting, and he wouldn't move. I was looking at him, and I said something like, "How old are you?" And I probably shouldn't have.
No.
I had.
This is the thing that I want to reiterate, because it's not. Again, it's not like. It's not like you're turning into a bowl of Jell-O. That's not the point.
Right? No, I know.
It's being able to choose, and it's like there's the only example that's coming to mind right now is a husband-wife example, but I'm going to use it. My sister came to visit, and she arrived super late, and my husband was kind of an ass when she showed up. And the thing was, I just said to him, and it wasn't a threat, it wasn't a whatever, it was like, I do not want to live with someone who treats, people that I'm welcoming into my home that way. And he said something like, "You're threatening me," and I said, "No, actually, I'm not. I'm just telling you my truth." And the thing was, I was so. What I can tell you about that experience is I was so internally calm and at peace. Like, it wasn't a negotiation. It wasn't a debate. It wasn't a. It was just like, this is not okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a solidness to it. And I wasn't, I mean, I'm sure he felt like I was fighting with him, but it was like, this is just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sky is blue. This is just the way it is. And so we can find that place, you know, and I think you're getting close, but we can find that place of like, this is just so not okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, that's not a choice. You know, you can say, and it's like, you're not fighting, you're not whatever, you're just like, the sky is blue. We are sitting up now. It's not a choice. Or, the other choice is to let it go, because you know that you're, like, if you know you're gonna get sucked into the hole,
Mm-hmm.
then often leaving it alone is better. But what I don't want you to think is like that I've in mindfulness class, I've now taken your spine somehow.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to embarrass him, although I might have wanted to. You know, I just, you know, nobody's like, we're just getting in our circle, and this kid is laying out flat, touching the person next to him. And I just said,
Is it Michael?
I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I have too many kids to know their names. But, I mean, he was just being like paralyzed. And I'm like, we're sitting up and you know, you need to move. And I kept, and I just finally said, how old are you? I just walked away and let it be. And he sat up.
But those,
Yeah, he did. He sat up. And
those
I don't
kinds
think he
of,
moved out of his face, but.
like if you can do it, and we can't always, like we all get hooked.
Yeah.
But if you can do it from a place of like groundedness and clarity, sometimes those little things are super powerful. And like sometimes it's saying the thing that all of his other teachers wish they said to them, but they don't. But it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes that's what actually will serve them best, even if it pisses them off first.
Yeah.
And so it's just,
Yeah.
the only thing I'm saying is, don't be afraid to be assertive or to take a stand in the name of mindfulness, because in a little bit of a way, like that's a cop-out. It's like, I'm gonna be mindful so that I can avoid conflict.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not quite what we're going for.
Yeah, and I mean,
And you can choose your moments.
yeah, as the class comes in, I definitely need to raise my voice. Okay, you know, let's and you know, and then if they don't get it together, I just am silent, and then kids know that it's yeah, and they usually come around, except for a few.
And you can play with like using a chime or something.
I do that. Yeah.
The trick with the chime is that it can start to become like, knock it off, shut up,
Right.
pay attention, and that's not really the
Yeah.
intention of the chime either, but just like, it is an option, especially
I
in a
rarely
big
use it, but for that.
Right.
But I have, and that works too.
And if you use it in opening and closing the class, and then use it judiciously in the middle,
Just for
it can
practices.
be helpful.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just, you know, in the wrestling room, is it about maybe this side? They're all in a circle, like
Yeah.
on top of each other almost, because no one will go in the middle, and you know, just to spread out. So it's having them space themselves out a little bit.
So what else in terms of moments that didn't go well, or redos, or how, you know, what would you do about this, or you don't have to have any.
Is there anything you would do? So on the survey, I did have a kid who said, like, nothing was useful for me. Do you follow up in any way, or?
It depends. I mean, first of all, to me, it would depend a little bit on your relationship with the kid and what you know about the kid. And secondly, like sometimes there's a way in, like just in whatever's written, it's like, oh, that's a complete misinterpretation. And so I want to clarify that. And other times it's just like, you know, okay, like it wasn't for you. Like if if you read a book, right, some of your kids love the book, some of the kids don't love the book.
Maybe it's that time that it didn't work for them, not the time to do it as well.
Yeah, and they, I mean, odds are high now, just the way life is going. They will get it again in college, depending on where they go to work, Google, Apple, Target, General Mills. I mean, they will see it again. And I think we talked about this before, but really, we're planting seeds. And not all seeds sprout. They don't. And some seeds don't sprout that season or the season after, and then you walk out later and you're like, wow, where'd all these flowers come from? And it's 3 years later and you thought they weren't gonna grow at all. So, just know that a certain percentage of them aren't gonna get it and are gonna hate it and think it's dumb. And that has nothing to do with you or your skill as a teacher or anything else. Like, it's not gonna speak to all of them. And, then there's also a percentage that it does speak to them, but they're not gonna confess to that, and that's fine too.
Yep.
But, yeah, like, don't take it too personally. And again, if there's certain kids, and again, this is like the difference between your class and your class, where you have them, you know them intimately, and you're like, well, what about how it applies to talking to your parents? Or what about when you go to college? Or and working with your roommate? Or, you may know the way in, so some of that's gonna be your call, depending on how well you know the kid.
Well, because he's a kid who's, pretty successful. He has managed great stressors in his life. And he's like, I'm pretty calm, I don't get stressed, I'm very pragmatic, so I don't really need this. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's okay,
Right,
so.
and if that's the kind of, take him at his word. And some of it may be, if he's managed really big stressors, he may have developed coping mechanisms that while we might prefer him to have other ones, like they're